Hi, I hope your day's gone well so far. So we are going to look at comparing a fraction multiplied by a fraction and the same fractions but divided. So it would be something like a half times a half and compare that with a half divided by a half. Okay. All right. So 2/3 multiplied by 4/5 and 2/3 divided by 4/5. Where's there? There it is. So I've got 2/3 multiplied by 4/5 and 2/3 divided by 4/5. Okay. So with multiplication of fractions, we do top times top. So 2 times 4 is 8 and bottom times bottom. 3 times 5 is 15. So we've got 8/15. There's two different ways to do the division. You can keep, change, flip, which you might have heard, or you can make the denominators the same. So there's two different ways to do it. There's the keep, change, flip. So I keep the first fraction. I change the sign from a divide to a multiply, and I flip it over, and it ends up being 5/4. And I do that. So 2 times 5 is 10, and 3 times 4 is 12. And if I simplify that, I have 5/6. And there's another way by changing the denominators. So I'm going to multiply this fraction by 5 and this fraction by 3. So I'm creating a fraction that is in 15ths, or two fractions that are in 15ths. 5 times 3 is 15 and 5 times 2 is 10. 3 times 5 is 15 and 3 times 4 is 12. Now, because you have 15ths at the bottom, all our counting numbers, so 1, 2, 3, 56, 84, 50,285.7, they all have ones underneath. We just don't show it. That's a whole lot of 50,285.7. So because they've all got ones underneath, we don't need them. We can compare them without using a denominator. In the same way, because these have both got the same denominator, we can just compare them by doing the numerator. So 10 divided by 12, or 10 divided by 12, becomes our new fraction. Both of them are multiples of 2. So how many 2's fit into 10? 5. How many 2's fit into 12? 6. You have the same fraction. Let us look at number 2. So number 2, 7/9 multiplied by 3/5. Okay, 7 times 3 is 21. 9 times 5 is 45. I know they're both multiples of 3, so I'm going to divide the top by 3. 7 3s are 21, and 15 times 3 is 45. Okay, let's look at the division. So 7/9 divided by 3/5. Because we have fifths and ninths at the bottom, I'm going to multiply those together to give me 45ths. 9 times 5 is 45. And we're going to do, because 9 times 5 is 45, 7 times 5 is 35, and 9 times 3 is 27. We've got 45ths at the bottom, so I can say now that it's 35 27ths. And 35 27ths is the same as 27 27ths plus 27, 28, 29, 30, okay, plus 8 27ths. 27 27ths is one whole and 8 27ths. So that is our answer. And looking at comparing the fractions, so compare 8 15ths, which is 2 8ths of 16, so it's just over half, and the division is almost a whole, 5 6ths. If it was one more sixth, it would be a whole. The multiplication on number 2, 7 15ths, 7 is just under half of 15 because it would be 7.5 if it was half of 15, whereas the division of the fractions is 1 whole and 3 8ths of 24, so it's about 1 1/3. So it looks like when you multiply a fraction by fraction, you get a smaller fraction compared to when you divide a fraction by fraction. Let's do number 3. 1/5 multiplied by 4/9. Okay, multiply the tops. 1 times 4 is 4. The bottoms, 5 times 9 is 45. That's it, 4 45ths. So let's do 1/5 divided by 4/9. I'm going to do the keep change flip. Keep the one fraction, change the sign, flip it upside down. 1 times 9 is 9, 5 times 4 is 20, so you've got 9 20ths. If you have a look at that fraction, 9 20ths is 1 20th less than half. 4 45ths is approximately 1 11th. So there's quite a difference in size there. Number 4, 3/4 multiplied by 4 15ths. 3/4 multiplied by 4 15ths. Okay, top times top, 3 times 4 is 12. Bottom times bottom, 4 15ths are 60. I know 12s fit into 60. I know 5 12s are 60. So we've got 1/5 there. We've got that 12 60ths on 1/5. I'm going to put the wavy. Okay, so 3/4 divided by 4 15ths. So my denominator is going to be 60. So 4 times 15 is 60, 3 times 15 is 45. If 4 times 15 is 60, 4 times 4 is 16. Now we've got 45 16ths. I think what we need to do is to look at that improper fraction and turn it into a mixed number, because it's quite a big difference, isn't it? So we've got 16 16ths is one whole, 16 16ths is another whole, and 16 plus 16 is 32. 42 if it's a 10, 43, 44, 45. I think it's 13 16ths left. So that is equal to 2 wholes and 13 16ths. Yes. And one more. 2 7ths multiplied by 2 5ths is equal to top times top, 2 times 2 is 4, bottom times bottom, 7 times 5 is 35. I can't change that because the factors of 4 are 1 and 4 and 2. And I know 1 fits into 35, but 2 doesn't because it's an odd number, and 4 doesn't because all multiples of 4 are also even. Let's have a look here. So 2/7 divided by 2/5. I'm going to do the keep change flip. So 2/7 multiplied by 5/2. 2 times 5 is 10. 7 times 2 is 14. And they're both even numbers, so we can half them. So I've now got half of 10 is 5, half of 14 is 7. So I've got 5/7 there. I'm just going to change this because that shows that it's a different one, doesn't it? Okay, I didn't move the cursor back, sorry. Okay, so let's just get my picture back so I can have a chat. So yeah, there's different ways of doing it, and I think it's up to you to choose which way you feel most comfortable doing it. And then after a while, it's finding out a way that makes sense and that means something. The keep chain flip is really, really good. It helps. But I think it's understanding why you can do that that's quite useful. I'll have a look into that because that's not something I've thought that much about. Because I like it as a strategy, but I also really like creating the same denominator for the division because it sort of makes conceptual sense, creating an equivalent fraction. So I think conceptually, changing the denominators and doing division, for me, I like that way the best. But looking at the keep change flip, that would be nice to look into just to sort of understand the why behind it. So, well done for the lesson today. Really, really good. Sorry to go on like that. There's always new things to find out. Even as a teacher, there are always new ways to find things out, and keeps our brains alive, doesn't it? Okay, go and get yourself a drink and a snack, or I don't know, go and have some dinner, do something fun, move around a bit, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Have a good rest of the day. Take care. Bye.